Hey guys, it's the Average Violinist here, back again with another video. It has been 3 weeks. I do apologize. I have disappeared off the face of the earth. Main reason for that is me moving into uni. I've gotten settled in now after the first 2 weeks. Went through freshers. That was interesting. But now I think I've settled down enough to be able to resume making videos as much as I can and reacting to content, such as what we're doing today, based on a comment from a previous video, which is from the video Mori Calliope's End of a Life. From my video on that, somebody commented that Ayunda Risu, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, not completely butchering it, she apparently is the hidden boss voice of Hololive, I think is how they described it. So I'm very interested to see how she sounds. So she has a lot to, she's getting high praise from somebody, so you know what, let's see if she lives up to it. I'm sure she will.
Are my eyes deceiving me? Your soul starts to fade. Unleash your magic to me. Now it's time not to worry, to believe in me. A journey we have to see. La-di-da, la-di-da, incomplete melody, sung with a sweet but yet a sad symphony. Unwavering spirit that you told me. How can I do it when you're not even here? Oh, let out the words I could say to you right now. I can only tell you I'll be overwhelmed with your kindness. It's a gift that I could never ever trade with anything. Let the time send this song to your ears. I hope one day you will sing it to me. Versatile melody that I try to write. Every day I would pray in my heart, 'cause I'm reaching the sky. In a time full of worries, no light I could see. Do you want me to be here? Knowing all the emotions you're supposed to feel. In the voice I wanna hear. Sha-da-da, sha-di-da, incomplete melody, arriving in your ears like it's destiny. Lo-di-da, la-di-da, incomplete memories, showing all the world that I have ever felt. You're there. Sing out, you're the Kyoko. Shout out, you are my Shikusu no kakera tachi wa imaniになる。新たな喜びを願う。Lu-di-da, la-di-da, incomplete melody has been sung in the world so far. You can't say, let the wind, let the sea carry this melody like a sea. Timeless song that carry all the wish I believe. All the words I could say right now, I can only tell you a little bit. Overwhelm me with your kindness. It's a gift that I could never ever trade with anything. Let the time send this song to you. I hope one day you will sing it to me. Versatile melody that I try to write.
Let's go. That was really good. Holy crap, that was good. Okay. A lot to break down for this one. Where do I even start in this? Great chord progression. Absolutely lovely to listen to. We've got all these instrumentals going on, all these counter melodies, all these supporting rules. It's a masterfully made piece. Like, honestly, really, really good piece. And the voice. Okay, yeah, I can see why this was called the last boss or hidden boss of Hololive's voice. Yeah, no, I can see why. This is a very fairy tale song. Very much a fairy tale like song. Well, it's called ALiCE&u, I believe. So somewhat Alice in the Wonderland. There's a lot of fairy tales associated with the name Alice. So we do have it spelled slightly weirdly though. We do have a capital AL, lowercase I, and a capital C and a lowercase U. I don't want to know. I probably do want to know what the context for that is, if there is context, or if that's entirely just stylized like that. But who knows? Some artists like to stylize it in specific ways. For reasons. Sometimes there is and sometimes there's not, but you know what? It's a good piece. I'll listen to it. It's great. Right. Anyways, let's get into the proper analysis of this, starting from the very beginning. Let us go all the way back. Okay, we start off with a very nice instrumental, I believe.
Are my eyes still?
We don't. We start off with singing. Never mind.
Are my eyes deceiving me? Your soul start to fade.
First thing I would like to note, we are in 6/8. This is something slightly less common. 4/4 is the most common of time signatures. We are no longer in 4/4. We are in 6/8. 6/8 still very common, but less common than 4/4, which is already. You know what? I'll take the swing rhythm any day. Honestly, I will take the swing rhythm. As much as 4/4 is used, as much as it's loved and easy to listen to, sometimes even as a music student, you just want some kind of flair. You want something to be able to pique your interest a bit. So within the sea of 4/4, we do have a 6/8 time signature. So you know what? I'm more than happy enough to listen to this, just based on the fact that it's in 6/8. Anyways, from the very start.
Are my eyes deceiving me? Your soul start to fade. Unleash your
Okay.
magic to me. Now it's time not to worry. To believe in me. A journey we have to see. La-di-da.
Before we go to the ad-libbing, or we'll come to that. Very start, we start with her singing voice. I'm going to ignore the voice for now and focus solely on instrumental. We have a piano coming in, arpeggiated chords, very common, but it's played very beautifully. It's very nice it's a very nice chord progression that we have here. I can identify it, and my oral skills are nowhere near that good. I am training them, so maybe someday I'll be able to identify them. But very, very nice chord progression. It's not just the standard bog standard chords. You have a lot of sevenths thrown in there. I couldn't tell you what they were, but I can tell you they are sevenths and stuff. The percussion's very interesting. We seem to have some kind of cowbell, I believe, or some kind of bell of
Are
some
my
sort.
eyes deceiving me? Your soul start to
Bum, bum, bum. It's almost like a waltz at this point. We are in 6/8. I'm almost 100% sure that we are in 6/8 for this. We're not in 3/4 for this. But at the start, the accompaniment, the percussion, they're playing something very akin to a waltz pace.
Are my eyes deceiving me? Your soul start to fade. Unleash your magic to me.
I skipped a beat there. They skipped a beat, so they skipped 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. They skipped the 3. They didn't play on the 3, which is also just an extra bit of intro.
Are my eyes deceiving me? Your soul start to fade. Unleash your
Bunch. You have some kind of bell. These are tuned bells because the first one obviously sounds high and the second sounds lower. But we have some. I believe they are hitting some kind of bell. It's some kind of tambourine. I don't know why that took me so long. Tambourine for the 2 and the 3, and some kind of bell for the 1.
magic to me. Now it's time not to worry. To
Piano's just having fun.
believe in me. A journey we have to see. La-di-da, la-di-da, incomplete.
we have the piano doing a so all that's happening, top two lines, top two notes, just an alternating note progression. It's just and what's happening is that the lower notes just descending by a tone each time. It's a very common technique used in a lot of popular music. It just makes it sound that much nicer. That the kind of descending bass note feels like we're just kind of relaxing back. Sometimes it can be used for build up. Sometimes it's a very versatile technique of just lowering the bass note, just making it walk its way down. Kind of like a walking bass. It's probably inspired some way by jazz's walking bass, but this is almost a modern take on that, I believe. It's used a lot in modern music just to have a nice bass descending every. That's what's happening in the piano now. First, we have it pretty high up. On the repeat, we have it playing an octave lower or 2 octaves lower. I would like to mention her singing here because obviously this is all about her voice. Like I was told, her voice has got like angelic almost. She has a very, very nice voice. I'm almost certain that she's had professional singing taught to her, or at least classically trained to some degree. She's using some techniques that I've only ever heard from classical singers. If she's done it all by herself, that's a different kind of impressive. But even then, if she's got classical training, she has a really good voice for this. And of course, this is an original song, so it would fit her well. But it fits very, very well, like almost uncannily well. So sometimes there's always the wee bits that don't fit in quite right. But this, she sings it. It's very nicely up there. It's very comfortable for her. Go back a few seconds.
Incomplete melody, sung with a sweet but yet a sad symphony, unwavering.
La-di-da, la-di-da, la-di-da. La-di-da is... I can't tell if she... I believe she's Indonesian or she's from the Indonesian branch. So she's singing in English. She has repeated the la-di-da, ri-di-da, using the L's and the R's. But I can't tell if there's some like connotation to Indonesian language there. If it's not, it's a very nice use of automatopoeia. If it is, then it's not automatopoeia. It's just very nice to hear these kind of automatopoeia words instead of normally automatopoeia is heard in the terms of hearing the word "o" a lot in popular music. In this case, we have, if this is automatopoeia, I'm going under the assumption that it is. It's very nice to hear different kinds of automatopoeia being used in music, especially in the tune. It just makes it sound nicer, especially in this kind of really, really fairy tale fantasy yearning kind of piece.
With us, a journey we have to see. La-di-da, incomplete melody, sung with a sweet but yet a sad symphony, unwavering spirit that you told me. How can I do it when you're not even here? Oh, let out the words I could say to you right now. I can only tell you, oh, babe, overwhelm me with your kindness. It's a gift that I could never ever trade with anything.
And I'll stop it there because there's so much to unpack in just that wee segment. The wee bridge, the wee lead up, or the wee link, we would call it here, between the verse and the chorus.
Can I do it when spirit that you told me? How can I do it when you're not even here? Oh,
Doubling of voices, looks like it's in thirds. Probably is not thirds because I probably can't hear intervals that well yet.
let me
Just a brief doubling. I think it was on the "Oh Let Me."
even here. Oh, let me.
Oh, let. Very nice. Just there's a certain feeling that you get. It feels like we're syncopated, but it's not because we're in 6/8, and I constantly think that we are syncopated. I believe she does go do some weird syncopation slightly later on with some duplets or some stuff, but not just quite yet. But it's a very nice swinging that you get. Oh, let. It's like it's almost an indescribable kind of feeling you get from that. I don't know if you guys will get that, but
Let out a word.
crash. We have drum kit, bass, acoustic guitar, Piano's still there. Anyways, right, let's go back here 1 second. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have the she's doing ahs in the background of her she's doing her background vocals here. Very nice descending kind of tone that she's using here while she sings over it. Let me have a listen to this drum kit properly. Standard 6. Standard 6. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's what. Okay, we've got some movement in drums there, some rhythm. The bass is having the time of its life. The bass is actually drowning out the majority. You can hear the acoustic guitar occasionally, and you can hear the piano occasionally, but the bass is really shining here. Just fingering through the bass, going ascending, descending sequences, just moving up and down. Some arpeggiated, it's just moving up and down the chords that's coming at it, and I can't really tell what the acoustic and the piano are doing because of that. But it very much fills up the empty space. What we just had is a great contrast from the verse where everything was very quiet, just a piano, just her voice, and now we have doubling of voices. Her main voice, a drum kit came in, and bass is currently dominating the lower end of the soundscape. The acoustic guitar is there to fill in extra gaps, and so is the piano now. That's what she's singing there in the background voice. Bum, 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 bum. She's singing kind of just a wee jump. It's very interjecting. It's not very big. It's not very like a counter melody kind of vocal. It's just very much just fitting in the wee gaps. It's just bum, 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 bum. Bump. It's just on the repeat. It's just not. It's nowhere near kind of melody. It's almost. It's very much just there to fill in the sound, but it's filling it very nicely the way she's done it. That note. Up there, I can't sing it because obviously I cannot sing up there. That takes some skill. She has been doing jumps across the entirety of this melody, and I mean she has been jumping all over the place and somehow nailing the notes. Of course, this is a produced song and it's not live. I haven't seen it live before, so of course I don't know. But just you can judge it based off. Basically, what I'm saying is auto-tune or what do you call it? Tuning correction or what do you call pitch correction can only get you so far. EQing can only get you so far. I can already tell why she's seen as Hololive's, secret voice or hidden boss voice or whatever, because there's this quality of her voice that she has this control over her voice that's been perfected so much that she knows exactly what she's doing. Like, she's singing with complete confidence. Those jumps are difficult. Like, they genuinely are properly difficult, especially at that kind of high pitch. She reminds me almost of some kind of Adele kind of thing going on. She reminds me of Adele with her voice being able to do what she does. It's not something I can describe, me not being a real singer. I have friends who are singers who can describe it a lot better than I can. Maybe someday you'll see those guys whenever they come around.
Every day I would pray in my heart 'cause I'm reaching the sky.
Back to cutting out with no extra instruments, just the piano and the percussion.
In a time full of worries, no light I could
Everything comes
see.
back.
You
Violin.
want me to be here, knowing all the
Very much.
emotions you're supposed to feel. In the voice I wanna hear.
Very much violin interjections, nothing counter melody crazy going. Ba-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-dum. Nothing crazy. Just simple violin interjections. That's all it really needs. But I will say they are very much synthesized violin strings. Those are the most synthesized strings I've heard in my life. That's not the fault of the producer, it's just how it is. Strings end up don't sounding that. It's very difficult to make synthesized strings sound very realistic. So it's very obvious to someone who plays strings. But you know what? It doesn't detract from the song in any way, so can't really say much about it. Back to the onomatopoeia section.
Arriving in your ears like it's destiny.
You can hear the descending bass coming down, and there is a lower string. I believe a cello is playing here. Right before we hit that, because I already know that bit goes crazy. If I haven't mentioned it before, I'm mentioning it now. I am one of the singular most impressive things with some of these songs is when they're able to fuse multiple languages into one song and have it make sense and flow seamlessly. I think people underestimate just how difficult that can be. Of course, yes, it can be easier. There are sides of it that can be easier. You're given access to a lot more words or a lot more sounds that you can relate to each other. But then again, it's harder to find words that also happen to make sense or follow what the meaning is while also sounding similar enough so that you can use them as lines. But genuinely, one of the most impressive things is being able to have what I believe Japanese is spoken here, English obviously, and some kind of Indonesian language, which I am not going to try and get. I think like the only language I know from there is I think Tagalog or something. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not going to assume it's that. I'll assume it's some other language. It is clearly some other language. So, genuinely, one of the most impressive things, yeah, is hearing different languages fused together. It just gives it a wee bit of extra flair to it. Basically, makes it more appealing to a lot of people, especially someone like me who's really wanting to listen and find some more pieces that are just out there and a bit different than everything else. Anyways, enough about that. Continuing on, we are currently back into a repeat of the onomatopoeia section, which I'm just going to refer to as the onomatopoeia section. Stop it there. Sing out, shout out, and whatever she said. Anyways, here we have what I believe to be the biggest showcase of her voice I've seen in this entire piece. The biggest showcase. Just the raw power that she has in her voice reminds me of Adele. Like, genuinely, that power and raw power, like the raw power she has in her voice and the control she has over it is something else, honestly. I've never heard someone belt out something like that so well and make it sound so sweet at the same time. So we're gonna analyze what instrumental bit of this. You can hear the notes splitting. Bum bada bada bum bada bada bum bada bada bum. That's the rhythm the bass is falling. Bum bada bada bum, strumming through the chords. And you just heard about it just before I paused. There's an echo. She sings it out again. She says sing out again. It's like it's repeated. Well, maybe she doesn't say. She sings the Japanese words. I'm not gonna try and guess what. There we go. That's where the repeats fall. Bum bada bum. So here the piano changes slightly. We got bum bada bum bum bada bum. A lot of dissonance starting to appear here, which is really nice. Adds great color to the piece. Bum bada bum bum. Nice rhythmic change as well. We got a lot of changes happening, despite despite a few repeats happening earlier. I'm more than happy to be able to hear this entirely new section, different rhythms, different rules being given to different instruments. This piece is actually very not instrument heavy in a sense. It's very average. It's not average. It's slightly actually below average with the amount of instruments it's using. Some strings, a drum kit, bass, acoustic guitar. Obviously her voice, the piano / the keyboard, depending on which is being used. Yeah, it's using something, a good amount of fancy percussions in it, but it's still less, I believe, than what most songs average out to when they use acoustic instruments. Anyways, moving on here. There's dissonance coming in there. Again, I believe that's an imperfect cadence. We've just ended on the 5 and it's just no end for you. Imperfect cadence, just a standard lead up. We've got that kind of drop from down is kind of very found very commonly in a lot of pieces, but it's used well here. I believe it's used pretty standardly here. It's used well, but it's used pretty standardly. You could probably change that to something else, but you know what? It doesn't detract from the song. Again, I'm only nitpicking here. This song is great. So, moving on here. Automatically repeat. Has been sung in the world so far. You can't see like the wind, let the sea carry this down the octave, but the cello playing. I'm not even. The reason I haven't described the percussion at this point is because I can't describe it. It's a very odd percussion kind of noise we've got going on. It has its own rhythm. Got faked out here, kind of. That drum beat at the very end made it think like we were about to go back into the chorus, but no, we have a nice re-arpeggiation. I know it's the piano, just a nice calm bit. And all the words I could say. It's like a reverse note here. Something big. Quiet here. Right now, I can't. Every day I her voice. I can't describe it. It's just so good. She has the range, the control, and the power all within her voice. She is literally Adele, but like Hololive. There has to be somebody that says that she's like Adele. It can't just be me, right? Right, we're gonna go back so I can actually pay attention to the instrumental. I got distracted by her voice.
Every day I will sing it aloud, and I will try to shine. Gonna go wherever you go.
Bum ba da ba da bum ba 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 bum ba 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 bum ba 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 ba. So we've got a different rhythm again in the bass, funny enough. So that makes it 3, at least I've counted so far. Main different rhythms that have been used in bass to carry the chords. Very chorally based. Of course, this is a pop song at the end of the day. It is a fairy tale pop song, but it's still a pop song to an extent. So it's modern, so it still has your standard chords. It doesn't have your standard chords, sorry. It has your standard way of playing said chords. It plays them very much in blocks for every bar. Bit of distance happening in the piano there. Clearly some language that I do not understand. I would believe some kind of Indonesian. I believe there are dialects for it, so no idea which one it is. If someone wants to tell me, you can tell me down in the comments below. A lot of distance happening here, especially in the piano. She is hitting that note, like she is up there. You can hear the change in her voice, like she is all the way up. I believe that is a falsetto. She sounds almost childish, actually, not in a bad way, but her falsetto or head voice, I can't tell the difference. I'm assuming this is falsetto. She sounds very childish at this point, which isn't a bad thing. She sounds very much like a kid, kind of getting this fairy tale. It actually helps with the fact that this is like a kind of happy fairy tale song. It's kind of like having the kid voice actually does help. It makes sense to have that. Control. Double like. Let me just chords. Repeat. You get the same bass note actually. Nice. Okay, that is my analysis of ALiCE&u by Ayunda Risu. I hope you guys enjoyed. Also, I have a new mic, if you didn't notice. I've had this for about like 2 weeks. I just haven't used it because I had to move. Anyways, that is it for this video, guys. I will see y'all in the next video. So, this is away from me. Catch y'all later.